I came up with the 10 most improved teams in the NFL. We will count them down.
Number 10.
We'll start with the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Pick up Brandon Cooks in the offseason and Stephon Gilmore. There's an argument this is a top defense, not only in the NFL, but number one in the NFC. The talent is there. I know they lost Zeke Elliott. It's not a huge loss. We'll see maybe for Jerry Jones, but not necessarily for the Cowboys. This is a really good team. I'm not 100% sold on them with the Kellen Moore loss, but they are certainly improved as a team, adding Cooks and Gilmore.
Number 9.
The Detroit Lions. Now, we've been hyping them for a while here. They had a spotty draft, maybe reached a bit for the kid Gibbs, the running back out of Bama, and, of course, a linebacker in the first round. That doesn't make any sense. But I love the secondary additions. Cameron Sutton comes over. He's been rock in Pittsburgh, among other places. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson, remember, from Philadelphia, very good nickelback. This is I got to say, this is a Detroit team that's going to be improved. Jeff Okudah obviously gone, but they're the favorites. Well, they're not the favorites, but I think I would make them the favorites to win the division over Minnesota.
Number 8.
Oh, yeah. Jacksonville Jaguars. Calvin Ridley is the sole reason they are the most improved list. So in 2020 in Atlanta, 1,300 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns. Ridley is a beast. You add him to Trevor Lawrence, ETN. I mean, this is a team that they kind of pushed Kansas City there in the playoff game. I like this Jacksonville team. You know, we'll talk about bets later in the show. It ain't the worst bet in the world to say they win the most games in the AFC. That division is just absolutely putrid.
Number 7.
Let's go with the Denver Broncos. What's not to love about Sean Payton? They also got their offensive line, added Mike McGlinchey, stole him from San Fran, and Ben Powers. But, you know, you could make an argument. Most improved? Are the Broncos like top 3? I had them down here at 7. I do love the Sean Payton addition. It's just the AFC is so tough. There's still a world where this team does miss the playoffs.
Number 6.
Let's go with the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, they keep him. That squabble, that marriage that was on the rocks is back on. They add Odell Beckham. They arguably have, well, not arguably, they got the best wide receiving room, if you throw in the tight ends, that Lamar Jackson's ever had. Now, the new offensive coordinator, we'll see how that works out, Todd Monken. But I do think from an improved standpoint, this offense has all the pieces in place to be an 11 or 12 win team.
Number 5.
Let's go with the New Orleans Saints. They're here for one reason, and one reason alone. Mr. Derek Carr. What's not to love about Carr? I mean, besides the fact that he was, 16 games or 15 games under 500 with the Raiders. But Carr is a massive upgrade over the poo-poo platter of quarterbacks they've had there since Drew Brees left. Carr, I think he could make a case to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC. Now, the NFC's down on the quarterback front. It's like Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott. I don't know. It's pretty bleak. But Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr are right there in contention for number 2. And I do believe Carr and the Saints, they could be a 12-13 win team. Vegas seems to be a little light on them, which is a bit of a surprise to me.
Number 4.
Number 4, Miami Dolphins. You know I do not like saying nice things about the Dolphins. As a Jets fan, I'm conditioned to dislike Miami. Dates back to that Dan Marino fake spike, but we don't need to talk about that. When you add Jalen Ramsey, one of the better cornerbacks in the league, and yes, I've called him a pile inspector on the show, and he did not like that, but Jalen Ramsey's a game changer in a secondary. They're going to lose Byron Jones. The other cornerback, Xavier Howard, very good. They're going to have a good secondary. They're going to have a really good team. The only question is the offensive line, but from an improved standpoint, Jalen Ramsey's definitely a big add for Miami.
Number 3.
Yes, here we go. Colin's special, the L.A. Chargers. Adding Kellen Moore as offensive coordinator is immensely huge to Justin Herbert. I really do think this is a Chargers team that finally breaks through and wins a playoff game. Remember, the hype has been there for Herbert now for 2 years. They lose in the final game of the season to the Raiders. Herbert was extraordinary, and they missed the playoffs. Then they get to the playoffs. I think they led, was it like 27-0, 20-0, whatever it was, on the road in Jacksonville, and then blow the lead and lose the game. Listen, I can't say that phrase. I was going to say something that I can't say, but it's time to put up or shut up, basically, for the Chargers. And I think the improvement of Kellen Moore is huge. I love the Chargers this year.
Number 2.
You were waiting, huh? You thought the Jets would be 1. They're not. The Jets are the second most improved team in the league besides Aaron Rodgers. They add Alan Lazard, Rodgers' best buddy, Randall Cobb. Love me some Mecole Hardman, quickness, a lot of junk plays. I know they lost Berrios, which hurts, but Nathaniel Hackett's going to be the most interesting ad. How motivated is that dude going to be after getting run out of Denver in like 5 minutes in one of the, pretty bleakest head coaching tenures in recent NFL memory? Honestly, this was up there with the Urban Meyer disaster. It was bad for Hackett. He's motivated. Him and Rodgers have worked together previously. I think the Jets have to be the second most improved team in the NFL.
Number 1.
Well, that leaves one team, folks. The Chicago Bears. Spend money, make money. That's like a business adage that goes back for many, many decades. And the Chicago Bears spent like drunken sailors in this offseason. But here's the good news. The last two teams to spend the most in free agency have seen an uptick of nearly 4 wins. The Patriots 2 years ago, they made the playoffs and lost. Last year, Jacksonville. This year, Chicago Bears. Here are some of the names they added. DJ Moore via trade. Dante Foreman, very good backup running back. Robert Tonyan, they stole from the Packers in the division. TJ Edwards, good linebacker. I don't love paying linebackers, but I digress. Tremaine Edmonds, another linebacker, young, talented. This is a team that got a lot better, folks. Justin Fields has help. Remember, they got Claypool last year at the deadline, so they got some depth on the outside.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.